Hi, I'm Shaul. The term true-to-life rendition or true-to-life imaging has been featured on this channel too often. We treat it as an axiom, like a positive trait we should aspire to in our photography or videography in order to engage the viewer of the photographs, of the footage, in a more compelling, more immersive way that would enhance the experience of watching our work. However, we have not really discussed the fundamental question. Why is it important? What makes a true-to-life rendering of reality so engaging? What is it that makes a natural depiction of a scene more engaging to us? Well, the mechanistic explanation is that when the scene is rendered in a natural way, it is easy for the viewer to interpret the visual information into something that is more tangible. When the light reflected from a surface resembles what we experience with our naked eyes in our daily lives, we can readily interpret this information. On close proximity, we can discern the texture of a surface. On medium proximity, we can evaluate the shape of an object as we learn from the curvature of its surfaces. And on a large scale, we can interpret distances between different objects, between different layers in the scene. That requires the contrast to appear in a manner that is similar to how our eyes see. We have established that the chemistry of glass incorporated in a lens has an impact, a strong effect on the rendition of contrast. Low density glass, like extra low dispersion glass, tends to prioritize the contrast of contours. Everything inside those contours will appear a little brighter than what we see with our eyes. So the whole image will lose its gentle gradation from shadow to highlight, and surfaces will appear flat to us, like in a cartoon or a video game. On the contrary, dense glass, like high refractive index glass, would reduce the contrast, perhaps reduce it too much. So everything between those contours looks a little darker what we experience with our eyes. And again, that would make the image look muddy, blocked. It is, of course, possible to stretch the contrast in post-processing. If you carefully do it in the photographs, in the footage made with such lenses, you can retrieve that sense of gradation. But it sometimes requires a lot of work. A balanced recipe for a lens in terms of the glass contained in it would depict gradation in a natural way. Someone asked me which lenses I use to shoot those talking heads videos, and there are a few. Currently, the lens mounted to my camera is a Thypoc Chimera 28mm f1.4. And that lens has a very good balance of glass. It has both ED glass, regular crown glass, and high refractive index glass in it. And the ED glass is not too dominant in this recipe. There are far more high refractive index glass elements than ED elements. There's actually only one ED element in this lens, and it's located at the very front of the barrel. So the dense glass behind it counterbalances it. Overall, the rendering of this lens is quite nice. Anyway, well-balanced lenses have the advantage of representing the reflected light in a manner that is very familiar to us. We can readily interpret textures, shapes, distances straight from the rendering, straight from the photographs or the footage. We do not have to put extra work to express it in a natural way. But that is not why I am making this video. The fundamental question remains: what makes true-to-life rendition so appealing to us? What makes it so desirable? Well, the short answer, to be quite concise, is that our eyes can act not only as visual organs, but also as touch organs. You see, we crave touch when we can touch something. Let's take this pen. When I touch it, I can be sure that it's real. Its physicality has an immense power. When I can touch something, it is not only an image, a symbol. It is an actual object that is very close to me. I can actually feel it. I can feel the texture of its surfaces, the curvatures of its surfaces. I can get a haptic response when I click this little button. And when we look at an image and can readily perceive the texture, the shapes, the distances, it lets us feel the scene, if you will. It lets us imagine what it is like to be there, to touch something, to hug a person that is depicted in a natural way. So it has a strong emotional impact on us, or it might. The sense of touch is fundamental. Newborns use it as the only way of interacting with their environment before they can even see or hear. Some scientists suggest that touch is already fully developed before the birth. Fetuses can experience it, and it remains a very important experience in our lives. It acts as an emotional regulator because of the reality it offers, because of the proximity. We use other senses to suggest the experience of touch. Look at the following B-roll running on the screen. It's a very mundane action, turning the pages of a book. But looking at it, you can almost feel the texture of the thin, rough paper that book was printed on. You can perhaps imagine the smell of that paper, the old print, the oxidized edges of the pages. You can sense the temperature of the air by looking at a blizzard, at leaves flying around. You can sense the roughness of gravel when hearing footsteps walking over it. It gives you a very physical sense, not only on the surface of your skin, but inside your body. Your muscles might react to this sound. If I rumble my keys, you can sense the coolness of the metal. It's shiny, glossy surface. And it's only by listening to this sound. Don't really have to touch it to experience the feeling of touching it. So a good true-to-life rendition by a good piece of optics might enhance the visual experience, might give it a haptic aspect that may immerse the viewer in the scene depicted in a very physical manner. I wonder why there is so little attention paid to these aspects of image making in the industry, in the professional media. To me, the rendition of a lens, the way it depicts a scene on a two-dimensional surface, how easy it is to interpret what we see into a physical experience is way more important than any other technical aspect. It is more important than sharpness. It is more important than its way of correcting aberrations. More important than distortion, than vignetting, and all the other easy to measure aspects. But still, no one really discusses it, at least not in the photographic world. But in cinema, which is a separate branch of photography, it seems to play a much more prominent part. The first question you would ask a cinematographer who wishes to use a set of lenses for a project is what type of rendition would you like? Would you like a clean rendition that depicts the scene in a neutral way? Or do you want something that resembles the way we experience the world, that might be flawed, might have too much chromatic aberration, or that might be too soft in the corners? Sharpness fall off might be less pleasing in such optics, but they are still rather desirable. It depends, of course, on the type of the project, on the cinematographer or director engaged in it. But it does play an important part. Otherwise, lenses such as the ones offered by Cook Optics would have disappeared. But they are still very desirable. I was surprised to learn that cinema lens manufacturers do not publish the structure of the lenses they produce. You can't find a diagram showing the number of elements, the placement, the glass type they are made of. A cinema lens is a black box. You don't see what's in it, how it is made. You can only see what it produces, which is perhaps a better way to look at a lens, at its characteristics. I think we have a lot to learn from the world of cinema. Cinematographers seem to be much more evolved than photographers. Photographers can blow up their images, look at each pixel at 400% magnification. In cinema, you don't really do that. You look at the whole image, which to me is the right way to observe a visual piece. The gestalt of an image, its wholesomeness, its entirety, is much more important to the viewer than its deconstruction, analyzing different aspects of what we see in a granular way, in a way that separates one aspect from the other. This is not how we see the world. This is not how the average viewer would look at your work, at your photographs, at your footage. Right, I think that would be all for today. It's a short one. If you wish to support this channel, please consider buying me a coffee. It's a nice gesture between gentlemen. You will find the link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and see you again soon.